We started the game really poorly. We never found any rhythm in the first half. We was always in the game, but we never played with a rhythm that we wanted to or that we can do. There's no complaints with the overall result. I thought at the start of the second half we come out, we improved. We had a big moment where Ryan hits the post. We should do better with a rebound. If we score in that moment, then that's it. It might be a momentum change. We find ourselves 2-0 down and we go and score, and we showed a lot of character and resilience to try and push the game. But today I was expecting more from the team, from myself, from the day, and so it's disappointing.
You mentioned no complaints overall with the result, but did you feel there was that spell where you had them a little bit rattled?
Yeah, but that was just because we throwed more energy and intensity at the game. I thought we didn't play to our true level. Why that is, I'll have to go back with the staff and the players and look at it, because there's been a few times since I've come back, and I don't want to make a mountain out of today's performance, because we have done well since I've come back into the club. That's the first defeat in 15 games, but there's been a number of games where it's took a half-time honest conversation to force a reaction from the team. I thought the boys that come on did well, and I thought when we showed more energy and intensity in the game, Celtic were more uncomfortable. But yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. We had moments. We had a moment first half where I think someone for them makes a great block on a cross from our right-hand side, and it goes just wide. They score in those moments, and they're the fine margins. You know, if Fashion takes that chance at 1-0 when Ryan hits the post, then maybe we're sat here and it's a different game, but it's not, and so no excuses. Celtic won the game, and congratulations to them.
What has today told you about the gap you have to close?
Today I've learnt as much as any of the games. If anything, I've learnt more. It's something me and my staff will reflect on. I think it's clear that where I want it to be, and ultimately where everybody wants it to be, we're a little bit short of that right now, and that's ultimately why I came into the job, isn't it? We've done well to a part. We've been on a real strong run. That's our first defeat in 17 as a club, but it's in the one game that we must win, so it's disappointing. We don't want to be defined by it. It's what we do next which is important. We still need to recruit. We need to work out one or two players' futures, but I don't want to go overboard. We played against a very, very good opponent today, and I thought they were very good in the game. So partly of the reason us maybe not performing at the level that we would have liked was that Celtic were good as well. So fair dues on that.
Michael, you changed your whole midfield just after the hour mark. Can you just talk us through that decision, and reflecting on it, do you think you made the right decision with the midfield possibly?
Well, listen, since I come back in, I've tried to provide some consistency and clarity in terms of messages that the team are comfortable with, and that same team played ever so well in the Old Firm at New Year. It played the best performance in terms of 90 minutes since I come back away at Hearts, and on that night it was excellent. So we had our goals on the pitch. You know, Tillman and the front three have been in fine form since I've come back. Over 20 goals in that team that was there since I've come back in. So it's fine. You know, you've got two players come into the club and have played 2.5 games each against opponents where you've got the ball. There was a little bit more we had to do today defensively, and also match legs, and so there's no qualms in terms of performance. I just felt at that moment I needed to shake the tree a little bit and try something, and we were stronger after that because we scored, but we scored from an isolated moment before I actually made those changes.
What do you think this means for the rest of the season, Michael? How important is it, and how confident are you can pick your players up from this? Obviously it's a sore defeat, but only your first defeat as well.
Well, we've got no choice, have we? At a club like we are, we've got no choice. We've got 12 league games to go. We've got a Scottish Cup to retain that we're in the quarter-final of. It's up to them how we want to end this season now. It's in our hands as a group. I'm still making decisions and assessing, looking at who to bring in and maybe who I think maybe needs to move on. That's natural at this time of the season. So everyone's playing for something. And it's important we end the season strongly. Our fans won't let us not do that. And I'll be driving that within the club as well, because it's clear that we don't want to have too many days like this. The club's come back from a dark place over the last few years to be competing and doing well, but we don't like this feeling. And suck it up. It's not nice. It's not nice, but on the day We didn't come to the game until the second half, in my opinion. So, you know, no qualms that on the day we lost the game, and it's not nice. So suck it up, look at it, take it on board. You have to look at yourself in the mirror every day, and that's your biggest opponent. Are you being honest to that person? Are we working hard enough? Is the work we're doing good enough? Because this is the days that we're judged on. We've got to win all the other games, but on these days, this is when Judgment Day comes. We get it, we take it on. So that was what we spoke about in that brief moment there. I didn't want anyone making any false opinions in their mind. You know, we lost the game.
Michael, why do you think, you say you arrived in the second half there, why has there been a pattern, not in every game, but some days when you can't get that 90 minutes performance, you need to give up?
Listen, I'm still looking for that. I'm still looking for the reasons. Early in the season, I wasn't in the change room where some big games happen and you bring some anxieties like that. Listen, I think if you play 14 games prior today, you had to win every one. You won 13 and drew 1. The team's done well. The game's played for 90, it's played for 100 minutes now. So the game's about finding ways to win. And a good performance is not always having the ball all the time. Sometimes you have to suffer and you have to grind and fight and work. So it's important that we don't get too carried away with that. But there's something. When we play this game today and for half hour, I didn't really see what we had asked and what we had promised ourselves we were going to bring to this game. We didn't do it. So we'll go back and we'll have a conversation about that. But it's important that we're honest. And that's what I was saying to him at the end, that when you play a game and for a third of it, you're second best, clearly second best, you give yourself a mountain to climb. But listen, I don't want to take anything away from Celtic. They're clearly a very, very good team. They've got some very, very good players, and I thought they played well today. So as much as I'll go back and assess my own team, the resistance from the opponents was a big one.
Michael, you said you would have to go back and analyse what's happened today with your staff. You said before that this team isn't as broken as what you thought, whereas the fans and others have thought that that's not the case. There's been similar situations today when the team haven't performed. Do you understand now why people are saying that about the team and the squad, and why they might think that this needs a revamp?
Yeah, revamp's a better word than rebuild. I think the one or two players that we brought in, look, we've had a lot of injury problems this season. Even going into this game this week, a lot of uncertainty. We need to get over that. We need to make sure that people are fit and healthy and available, and it makes a strong squad and we can build forward. It's important we've got to recruit, we've got to work out one or two futures. I think we'll come back stronger, Steve. I don't think we should get too carried away. We lost today. It's the end of the world in terms of the rest of the today, but tomorrow we wake up. The job was always going to be big regardless of this result. It's important that we bite down the gum shield, we take our medicine, which don't taste too nice right now, and we come back. But when I look at a team with the promise that Malik Tillman's shown, with Raskin, with Cantwell moving forward, there's enough for me to be super optimistic about the future. Is it going to be plain sailing? Of course it isn't. If I'd have come in and we would have won the cup final today, would it have been everything been rosy in the future? No, we'd have still had that work to do. So it's my job to do that tomorrow. I don't mind being judged on that, but I think at this moment in time, it's probably not the right time for me to be worrying about the greater future. It's more, okay, what didn't go right today in this fixture, and what have we got to do to fix it against Celtic? Because against everybody else, it seems to have been fine so far.